esteem. Inspiration, motivation, enthusiasm brings. Tune in, rise up, have a blast. It's the Coach and Coco cast. It's the Coach and Coco cast. Motivation made to last. Laugh, learn, lift your soul. Chasing purpose is the goal. It's the Coach and Coco cast. Motivation made to last. Laugh, learn, lift your soul. Chasing purpose is the goal.
What a song, right? Oh my God.
That's a banger.
Okay. All right. I'm Coach Ryan, aka the Champ UT. And this man to my side is the co-host. See what I did?
I like that. Clever.
He needs no introduction. He's the man that the Thai called Nahok Bane, which means flat chest. Chris Coco Kokores. Coco, you pumped or what?
I'm pumped, man. Yeah, let's get this thing rocking.
All right, so this is episode 1, obviously. Coach Coco cast. You see the thing. I always give him shit for his embarrassing chest. I bench close to 500, and
I've tried my whole life, man. It just, no matter what I do,
yeah.
nothing happens.
Well, no Hawk Bean. I looked it up. Okay, so before we get too deep, I'm not going to be reading off the paper after this, but we got some housekeeping stuff. Thank you for watching, listening, TikTok, YouTube. We're going to be on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube channel, the Coach and Coco cast. Also, it'll be live on whatever day we record. It'll be live on Ryan the Champ UT Wallace. Then Monday mornings, we'll have it out on Coach and Coco cast YouTube and the Coach and Coco cast Spotify and wherever else you get your podcast. We're going to start trying to fire that up. Any correspondence you have for us, questions, feedback, advice, we love to have it. coachandcoco@gmail. coachandcoco@gmail.com. Right?
So this is YouTube. This is TikTok.
This is TikTok. This is YouTube.
Okay.
It's also recording for our Spotify and all that.
IG. We don't got IG. I should do that.
You can do it. Set it up. We're
time.
rocking. We can organize.
I'll do it later.
Okay. All right. coachandcoco@gmail. That's where you get at us. All right. So what's the Coach and Coco cast? I know you're asking yourself right now. Coco was the star of a documentary called Momentum. He suffered a horrible car wreck. It set him back on an MMA path, and then he worked his way all the way back to the top. I had a part in the film as the handsome, humble, comedic powerhouse anchor of the project. His story was cool, but I'm cool, so it kind of matched up. So that kind of reminds me, y'all got homework. We don't need to get into the past that film covered. We have a lot of future stuff and stuff between them that we want to get through. So go to PBS before it gets shut down. Find Momentum. You just type in Momentum on PBS in the search bar. Also in the description, I'll have the link to it. Just watch Momentum if you haven't already. If you have, watch it again. I've seen it like 13 times and I'm in it and I still like it. And I talk to people that watch it like once every couple months or whatever. So get after that. Coco and I both get asked what's up now by people that either don't directly follow us or know us. So episode 1 is what's up now. After that, we have a lot of other questions we get from various things that we do. And we're just going to try to, each episode is going to be answering 1 or 2 of those questions and whatever comes up and whatever stuff we got. So Coco and I got good chemistry, no homo. I missed him when he was in Thailand, no homo. And we work hard to make what we've learned digestible for our throngs of fans. And y'all really do matter to us. And we want this project to reflect that, reflect the hard work we've put into it. Quit touching my leg, dude. Chemistry out the window. That's why I sat on this side so I wouldn't hit him with the robot leg, and then dude's kicked me like 50 times.
That side, man.
That's it. Podcast over.
Yeah.
All right. We want this project to represent our genuine desire for the well-being of, people that we know and that we have. You got anything to add to that?
Nah, I think you nailed it. I'm just excited to be here and get shit rocking.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to start. I got some what I've been doing stuff that's pretty cool that also kind of leads into this podcast, and I'm going to turn it over to him. He's got some awesome stuff he did in Thailand and all that. So I stayed stateside, and I had the vision with the film of showing it to kids in the school that I work with and other organizations in the area, and then creating a mentorship program around it. It's called Momentum Mentors, and it was pretty awesome. Some parts of it were very intimate with small groups, and then what kind of inspired me to really say yes when you said let's rock a podcast, which I was already thinking about, is I had schools watch it, right? I had schools watch the film, and then I sent them Google Docs with questions, how you feeling, about it? What's the obstacle in your life that is holding you back? What's the thing in your life that when you overcome it?
What schools did it play?
It played at South Tahoe Middle School, South Tahoe High School, Mount Talac School, a school in Minden, a school in Colorado, and then a school in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
So, and then
Santa Cruz too?
Yeah, Santa Cruz. It was a school that my old wrestling coach actually worked at, and then and my nephew is a PE teacher at a school. We're going to try to rock it in there too. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And couple of the things I noticed, especially with the local schools, kids that I knew really well had problems that I had no idea they were dealing with. Kids that I saw every day.
Like up here?
Up here. Kids that I saw every day that I was working directly with, or that I had, worked directly with every day during the wrestling season, or in the classroom, or in any other program I was involved with, had problems that they were not expressing that we could have been working on.
Gotcha.
They also had ambitions and goals that were awesome that we could have been working on and that we could have been building on.
Yep.
They had pain that they weren't showing, or they had positive things when they were in a situation where it could have been dark. But the thing that hit me the most was that the pain and the things that they were dealing with. They were hiding. Yeah. And essentially I got a sense that so many of the kids were feeling like they're alone. They were alone feeling those problems, or that they're the only one who's dealing with it, or that there should be shame, or that there should be that other people would judge them for the situation they're in that's out of their control. Gotcha. So I kind of got on the thing is what I would do is I would say, if you have a goal and you took this seriously and you want my follow-up, I would come to their class, I would pull them out, and we would come up with a little game plan for how to get that. It was brief, but it was massively impactful. Yeah. And then if they had a problem, I either told a counselor that needed to know, or I would pull them in and be like, hey, listen, man, did you know that my parents split up too? Yeah. Or did you know that this teacher that's in our school suffered from the same type of thing, or whatever? And I would just connect them with resources that I knew would help. And that was informal, and it was just with the kids I knew. So then I created this Momentum Mentors program and a framework where I want to be able to export that and do that anywhere. Anyone that watches, or if they don't even watch the film, have that be something that can go. I like it. And it's cool. And it struck me like, man, massive amounts of kids that I knew really well, for whatever reason, watching the film opened them up. And having sort of an anonymous way to tell,
I think that's important for sure,
was massive too. So, so that was what I got started, and then I got this dream opportunity. This foundation called the Marcella Foundation hired me to build that mentorship program, work with Mount Talac. There's going to be an advanced thing with California Conservation Corps, which is older people that are in that same range. Yeah, but
cut you off when you're supposed to be in this video. Because cut your arm.
They're not even seeing me on the talk?
No, just your teeny arm.
Oh, my teeny arm. Okay. Well, we're both supposed to be in there, but that's all right. Okay. So anyway, that was what I mainly focused on right after the film. That was my main mission. It's all right if this cuts off.
Sorry.
That was my main. No, you're good. That was my main mission, and that's what I focused on, and has inspired this. Mainly the questions that I want us to answer on our podcast. Is I said, do you have anything else to ask?
Came from the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's about 7 schools worth of questions, and there's probably about 10 or 12 questions that repeat regularly.
Gotcha.
That we gotta just. It's very efficient if we just blow it out on this.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's me. Time after the film, life has been fantastic. I feel great about that path. We're going to do a little bit of a bummer time here at the end, because some of you are watching know that Coach Ryan's been missing for a sec, but that's some pussy stuff we'll talk about later. So Coco.
Yeah.
Everyone asks me. I know everyone asks you. What have you been up to since the Momentum? I guess since the Momentum premiere mainly.
Since the premiere, yeah. So I kind of went through a funky little time after that premiere where I was like doing some soul searching whether I wanted to keep fighting or not. Because I kind of felt like I climbed a mountain, man, and it was hard to. So, a lot of times when you get into fighting, people chase championships. They want to be in the UFC, and that was my goal when I first got started. But
yeah,
climbing this mountain of regaining my body and, conquering that mountain was fulfilling. And so I didn't really know what I wanted to do next. And I kind of sat with it for a little bit, and I got this opportunity to travel and to train and to compete. And so I ended up deciding just to send it because, a lot of people that go through what I went through, they don't have second chances,
Yeah.
And so there was also, I guess I just felt guilty not going for it. And I also still had that fire in me to keep fighting because I love fighting. And that's always been there. And so, yeah, I took off and I first went to Guam and I trained there with the national team for 7 months. I was sick. Super hard training, super high level, intense guys. And then I took off to Thailand after that, and life just kind of popped off. It was just a wild time. I fought a handful of times out there. I fought 10 times. Yeah, it was just really fun. I traveled all over Southeast Asia. I competed in China. I competed at the biggest stadium in the country of Thailand. It was just electric. It was just what was cool is I had this one moment when I was sitting in my hotel out in Thailand, and I was realized damn, I'm living the life that I almost died feeling unfulfilled. That I hadn't lived because I was just jumping from hotel to hotel, city to city, fight to fight. Everything was inconsistent and unpredictable, and it was just so much fun, and I competed on some of the biggest stages in the world, and I climbed fast, and that's what I did. So I competed, I think, 10 times as a pro, competed in boxing, competed in Muay Thai, and then pretty much conquered my dream of competing on the biggest stage out there, which is called RWS, which I lost, which sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time, and I just went for it.
So when I was watching that fight, can you explain what the atmosphere in that stadium is like and how ravenous those local fans are for that sport?
Yeah, so in Thailand, it's like the movies, man. It's everything that you would imagine Thai fighting would be. There's people screaming and betting, and there's people from all over the world there. There's never one person you're going to meet that's not from a different part of the world or different country. It's really intense. It's they're just pumping people through, as far as fighters. I got smoked in my last fight. I did okay, but about towards the end of the last round, I got TKO'd. And they put this when I got knocked against the ropes, they put this smell stuff up that wakes you up.
Yeah.
And it worked, and it just woke me up, and then they just grab you and they send you out, and so it's a different level because they're not very, I don't know the word, like they don't have a lot of empathy or like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
They're just like blasting through fights, getting like, this guy's from the UK, this guy's from China, this guy's from America, you know, and they're just trying to get through the fights, put on, and everybody wants it. Like everybody is trying to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
So it's super competitive and it's dangerous.
And they've all like sacrificed to leave their families or whatever to be there, right?
Yeah,
so
all of them. Like
yeah.
it's, and a lot of them are young kids too, and they're all like super fired up, sacrificed everything, and it's super intense. It's super violent. Obviously, it's like full contact, elbows, knees, everything goes. And it's a trippy experience for sure. And it's a huge stadium, thousands of people. Yeah, it's epic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So those smelling salts. The funny thing is, when we take long wrestling trips, we had one time in our med kit, we had a huge bag of them, and the kids found them. And anytime anybody fell asleep in the van, boom, they'd get snapped. Oh, it's the best way to wake a kid up by them off.
Yeah, it wakes you right up, man.
That's funny. They're just like, hey, wake up, get out there.
Yeah.
That's like old school boxing where if you could get off the hay, there's another round.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
cool.
It's a trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I will say one thing. When I was coaching, Chris doing all that stuff was the, you know, I don't know if you guys realize, but every practice I have a speech ready at the beginning, and he was the subject of a lot of those speeches that he was actually going and sending it and doing what he said he was going to do and living what he said he was going to. And it helped our team a lot. Before I started coaching wrestling at South Tahoe High School, we'd had one state champion ever. In the time since I took over, we've now had 5. And since you were gone, we had 3 of those.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's pretty awesome. And then in the film, people ask me a lot about the girls team. When I said something, I want to have a full girls team.
Yeah.
Our girls last year took 2nd in regionals, and we had a bunch of state placers and girls that were getting medals everywhere we went. And more importantly, just a ton of girls that were locked in and like competing.
I love it.
Locked in as a group. It's awesome. So like a lot of those things in the film, people ask me a lot, like, did you accomplish that when I said this is what I want to do, whatever? Yeah, we did. And a lot of it was thank you to you that I'm like, dude, this guy did it. This guy is an example of somebody that's exactly what we're talking about. And even when I wasn't able to compete or lift or do anything for a minute, I was able to say, like, hey, a guy who's practiced on these mats did exactly what we're talking about. Awesome. and get going there. So
it's inspiring, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool. A couple things I did just personally, just to brag, since the first episode, you guys need to know who you're dealing with. I got Citizen of Merit for Lake Tahoe, which was cool. I got a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Epic.
Pretty cool.
Big deal.
And in the movie, I lose. But that's the only one I lost in any WFC or any competition besides the first one I did. So I just want you guys to know I did a lot of winning since then. Anytime I got in there, and a lot of swimming, a lot of good physical goals.
A lot of swimming.
Yeah. So just wanted you guys to know, both of us from the film, the person they portrayed, first of all, helped motivate me to be the person that they were showing on there. And we also, we lived the life that you would expect somebody that was. It wasn't fake.
Yeah.
His last fight may have been fixed. I still think so.
In the movie?
Yeah. It's still my working theory. Still my working theory. But anyway, the point is, both of us are pretty content and want to share our contentness of our life, because we go and push to be the person that we say we're going to be. And that person is a big goal, much bigger than who we are currently. And we're always thinking bigger. And it's something that just I want to get across this whole project anytime we're doing a podcast. Like, there's a bigger version of you, a better version, no matter what you're doing, that's out there. And if you hit a backslide, aiming to get back to where you were is a bigger version of you. And then once you get there, boom, boost. You know,
Yeah, that next chapter can be the best one.
right?
And that's something that occurred to me after that documentary too, because I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that happened in between there too. Actually, I think I went and trained internationally after, and I broke my leg like my first month into training internationally, and then I had to come back home for another year. So yeah, so right after the documentary premiered, I'm like on top of the world, healed up, conquered this mountain, whatever, and then I send it, go to train internationally, and I snap my leg in half the first month. And so then I had to roll back home and get a surgery, and that year sucked. It was the worst, dude. And so, but I had
How was it flying home with a broken leg from home?
terrible, dude. I snapped it clear in half on the mat, the mats out there, and then had to sit for a week, and then I had to fly coach, and I had people like right next to me, couldn't elevate it or anything. It was terrible. My leg was so like swollen by the time I got home. They thought they were gonna have to do like a emergency surgery or whatever.
That would have been so awesome if you lost it.
I was thinking about that. I wouldn't have been awesome. That would have sucked. But yeah, yeah, no. So, but like to your point, like I really hit like kind of a rock bottom at that point because I obviously had broken another bone. I mean, I went into like my I don't even know 6th surgery or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was next, but then like. To overlap on what you're saying, like I went into that next chapter and ended up having like the most intense fun time of my life and successful. And so that's just the power of the next chapter, and that's what that really taught me, is just like how important it is to keep it moving no matter where you're at.
Beautiful. You know? Perfect. All right, so we're going to keep it with Coco because now he's back in Tahoe where we're doing this podcast. And what do you got rocking with your youth program and your kind of goals and stuff for that?
Yeah, so I just came home, like, and my vision was just to get involved with the community, kind of building on what we were doing before and I was doing before. But really my vision is, like, I just want to help these kids, man, because I get it. Like, we're all cut from the same cloth, and I understand where they came from, you know, and they can do it. I mean, I did it. I'm still working on it, but you know, if I can get to where I've got to, they can get out of the funk that they're in. And so, yeah, when I got home, I started just applying for different places. I got this job running this program at Tall Youth and Family Services. They got a new grant for this youth program. So they brought me on as like the youth leadership manager. And so we're basically spearheading this program that's going to allow us to get creative and kind of do what we want to make an impact in the community. And so what my vision is to just create some dope stuff for the kids to be able to do that'll get them out of the trouble they might be getting into. We can rally up some mentors, and we can basically all get together and figure out what we want to do with our life and help them figure out what they want to do with their life and just have make a positive impact and have a positive outlet for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we got a lot of dope ideas right now too. Like we were just talking to the kids the other day about like doing a paintball tournament.
Oh,
how sick would that be?
That would be sick.
Yeah, and then obviously tapping into the fight world, rallying the kids up. A lot of them are fighting on the streets.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of them are scrapping outside their apartments and stuff like we were when we were kids. So pulling them out of that, putting some gear on, supervising them, and then letting them go beat each other up under our supervision.
Yeah.
We're doing a graffiti thing next week where they're all going to get together, and we're buying them all the paint and everything where they can go tag some stuff up outside of our building. Like,
yeah.
So yeah,
it's not, not destruction of property. It's something positive.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Exactly.
That'll be cool.
Yep.
Maybe I should get over there and tag. I got some good bubble letter action.
Dude, you should. I've seen the artwork. It's pretty legit. You can show it off.
Oh, you mean like something like this?
Yeah, that's wicked, man.
Yeah. How many skills does one guy have? How many skills can one guy have?
I don't know, man. But you're pushing it, though. You get too many.
Too many. It's going to be... The government's going to have to assassinate me or something.
Exactly.
AI is going to take me out. I'm going to threaten AI. All right, well, that's beautiful. And it also frees you up to do something like this podcast.
Yeah.
Get things going. So, is that what you got for that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah, just stay tuned. I mean, I'm going to obviously try to I'll talk about more on the podcast and I get things rolling. We're kind of in like the creating phase right now and just kind of unrolling things, getting familiar with everything. But just stay tuned. And any of the kids in the community that that need help, that want help, that this reaches, just reach out and we'll get you on board doing some fun stuff with us. And yeah.
And like I said, email Coach and Coco at Gmail. Anybody can hit us on there with anything. We are sincerely people who, if I can't even count how many times somebody has called, text, direct messaged me or whatever with a request, and I just do it, and it feels good.
Yeah.
And it's good for everybody. So we're both that kind of guy. So some that I haven't been like broadcasting much. Guess we'll do me. I guess we'll do the elephant in the room now. I've been sick basically a full year now, and it seems like such a freaking wussy thing to even be able to say, but like I just straight up don't feel good enough to do most things. And I always prided myself on long days, up before dawn and home after dark every day, getting stuff done. And so far I've been able to be like a 1 hour a day type guy. Got some problems with my heart, some problems with my lungs. A lot of it is due to some complications from COVID that I got last summer. But there is something very valuable that I've learned out of all that. And partly why I don't want to talk about it is just because of how many people I've said no excuses to, you know what I mean? And like, I feel like now I realize like maybe there is some time where you do have to put your health ahead of like your accomplishments or whatever. And one of the main things I really learned is patience, which I've had to be taught that a lot of times. But some of the things we don't need to get into is like the problems with the healthcare system and problems with like the way things are diagnosed and the way your insurance pays for it and the way that like you have to wait so long to get to see a specialist and that kind of stuff is very different than how I've ever wanted to handle any problem. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And
I remember it from my accident a little bit.
Yeah, and I was going to actually ask you about that. Like,
Super messy.
So, like, I'll just tell you guys one thing. Do not tell me any secrets, especially not like government secrets or something important, because I had to do this thing. I had to have this thing done in my heart, and it's possible they have to do it again, where I was awake. And they were in there. It was like 2 hours long, and I had to be awake while they asked me certain things and while they were like working.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt, but it like tickled, and sometimes I felt pressure. And dude, I would have rolled on anyone. Yeah. I would have rolled on my mom. Hi, Mom. Shout out, Mom, who I think's watching right there. I would have rolled on my mom. I would have lied to get out of it. Like, oh my God.
Because of the medication, or just because?
Just because it was like torture, and I was like, getting bored, and it was like, dude, I'll do anything to stop. They had a wire in my wrist through here, in my neck through here, and through my leg into here.
That's gnarly. Dude.
Yeah, and I could feel it. And then also I was in the hospital like for about a 12-day stay. For me to stay mentally focused I was kind of lucky because it was getting close to wrestling season, and all these wrestlers were just constantly messaging me, and it kept my eye on the prize of like, dude, I have done it. And then I'm going to get to like, I'm going to talk right at the end about sort of what led right before that moment. But when you were in the hospital and you were like no end in sight, because they weren't giving me a release date or any of that, like what was it that kept you focused on the life outside of it and like what you were going to do, or kept you sane more or less
going through that?
When you're in the hospital and there's no release date, there's no clear like what are they going to do if you're ever going to be feeling better, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like anytime I started seeing the end of it, something else would come up.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to embrace. I submitted. Like at a certain point, I just had to submit, because it was like, and I know a lot of people have been through this and can relate, but like when you're going through these heavy like physical times, especially when you're going through that gauntlet of like surgery after surgery, complication after complication, you try to convince yourself that the next thing is going to be the end of it, and then all of a sudden something else is dropped on you and something else, and it just keeps going. So I learned how to find myself in that process where I was like, I can't beat this by trying to find the end of it. I have to beat this by finding peace in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate to that. So
Yeah.
that's what it was for me, and then eventually it ended, and I made it to the other side.
And eventually it ended is a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had this dream job rocking and everything was as good as it had ever been. And then I got hit with that. And for a second, I was feeling sorry for myself, right? The opposite of what you just said. And I was trying to fight against it and fight against the recommendation too much. So just one lesson is, instead of fighting against it, fight with what you have. Focus on the tailwinds, not the headwinds.
Yep. Hard times don't last. Hard people do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I do want to shout out Marcella Foundation. Like, one of the other things is we're going to get a little deep real quick. They had a lot of confidence in me and belief and hired me to build that Momentum program, and then got me in connection with a lot of people. I got to go to Colorado to do this adaptive athlete thing, and I got to do a bunch of video calls that I'd been connected with people that were, had horrible injuries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy who called me, thanks to Marcella Foundation getting Momentum out. This guy called me and said he had a gun in his drawer that he was considering
That's crazy.
tapping himself,
That's
and
crazy.
Momentum made him not. So
Yeah, it's powerful.
I had a lot of
Super thankful.
positive boost going on. So what happened? I was in the backyard and I heard the dogs barking. I realized it was the cover for the stuff in the backyard that I needed. Went up there, grabbed it, came to the back, covered.
This was
somewhat recently, right before I went to the hospital.
Yeah. Perfect segue into a question I had.
Okay, cool. So I was doing some yard work. This is when I was starting to be like, dude, something is not right. I'd been in the hospital for pneumonia a couple times and stuff, and I'm like, I cannot get better. Am I just a wussy or what? And I was like, I got to kind of just move around and get through this. So I was covering the stuff in the back to get ready for winter, and I threw this tarp over the barbecue and was moving stuff around. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my man, like I am possibly dying. Like this might be it. My whole body just started feeling terrible, shutting down. I couldn't get my breath. I couldn't get focused, and I couldn't like move my body or anything. And I just had to drop to the ground in my backyard. And that's a potentially very stressful position, right?
Sure.
I remember you talking about that you were laying in a similar feeling and you were disappointed, right?
Yeah, that was my question for you, is because we had different experiences.
Yeah, well, if you had asked me when I was 20 or 25 or 30 or even 35, I would have said yes, I was very disappointed.
When you're talking, reflecting on when you're dying.
Yeah, when I was dying.
That's what he's talking about, is that you're facing these last moments. You literally think you're going to die, and you have this conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
Where you ask, you reflect what you've done, who you've become. And so, yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I was laying there and I was like, dude, this might be the it. Like, you're having a heart attack or something. No one's here. What is this, And I was thinking, all right, if this is the end, I'm actually kind of at peace.
Yeah, which is super powerful.
And I want it for other people so bad, dude.
Yeah,
so
that's a testament to your whole life, man.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I was like, dude, I have done it. I was like, if this is it, I didn't want it to be it. I don't want to say I wanted it to be it. But I was like, if this is it, I've been cool. And I always tell people, hey, I'm Ryan, I'm cool. That's what I say when I meet them. And I was like, dude, you were it. Yeah. You helped everyone you could.
Yeah.
You set goals, worked towards them. And I was just thinking, like, dude, I've lived what I said I wanted to do, and I did anytime I wanted to do something that worked.
What do you think specific things were that you did to make you feel that way?
So number one is, never did I have a goal for myself that other people's benefit wasn't like a primary factor in it. Like when I was coaching wrestling, and then it came the opportunity to have a match in WFC. Not the one I lost, but a couple other ones. And it was like, you got one leg, you're getting up there in age, and you're gonna have to. You work a full job, you coach a full time. You're gonna have to do a lot of work to get into this cage. Was the first thought, And it was like, how many kids will benefit from seeing me practice what I preach and push myself beyond what a normal person would do, let alone a normal person with one leg. But somebody with a full-time job and responsibilities wouldn't even be doing this, right?
Yeah.
So
just making it your mission to
making it my mission to motivate other people, being motivated by other people,
walking, like setting that example.
And setting that example,
Hard.
It's like it's super hard. And then also another thing I just say, like, I really love life, and I have been fortunate that I live in Lake Tahoe and that things have played out for me good. But like, I love it.
Yeah.
And if you love something for 40 years, it will suck to let it go. But like, if you actually went full blown at it for that whole time, just you'll feel good about how you lived it and what you did.
Yeah, well, I think you've made a major impact, man. And I think that you've impacted more lives than probably a dozen people in their life have. And the kids especially, they needed that. I mean, like we talked about before, think about how many kids, maybe they didn't qualify, in wrestling or whatever, but they went off to go to college to do great things with their life. And you've made that your mission, and that's super powerful.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a way to live.
Appreciate that. And just to kind of play off that like example that I was thinking about the other day, because I was actually kind of recapping, like, dude, why was I feeling good right then?
Yeah.
On the same day, I've gotten a call from a past wrestler who's in prison, and a past wrestler who just became a Marine.
Wow.
Right, and they were around the same age, and had similar upbringings, but equally important to me is the relationship with both of those guys. You know what I mean? This dude's dominating and everything's going well. This dude
is getting
dominated and is trying to pick himself back up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, those are the relationships that I've curated and that I've looked for, and I have not been selective. I've let the kid choose me. Like, if this kid wants my help, my advice, my support, they have it.
Yeah.
Whether I think that kid's going to win a state championship or I think that kid's going to be in prison. And sometimes they surprise you either way. But, like, I think that's a big aspect of it. And then also, I say a lot, when I woke up after having my leg amputated, I had two sort of timelines playing in my head. One was like, I could be a burden on everyone, and I could let this be the reason that I'm a battery in the machine and just sitting around feeling sorry for myself the rest of my life. Or I could see this as a second chance, and I could go see how far I can go on one leg. And that was the mindset that launched me.
Yeah.
And then the major realization was, first day I stepped into a wrestling room, the kids were amazed that I was there focused on their goal despite just losing my leg. And I was motivated by that. And then they motivated me to work harder because I'm like, hey, they see me doing this, it motivates them.
Right.
Them motivating.
It's a hell of a thing to come back from and get back into the room after that.
Yeah. And
let alone what you've done up to this point.
So I didn't even think of it as that. I just wanted to go kick somebody's ass again. You know what I mean?
No, I get
and,
it.
But once I realized how much it motivated them and how much that motivated me, it became just a positive feedback loop that just built and built and built.
Absolutely.
And then as I've matured, I've recognized what that means and how to ride that wave a lot more.
Right.
And so that's what got to the point. So anyway, the long story short of that whole thing is, I want for you, if you're watching this, listening to this, if you catch this, I want you to feel when you're, at the end, disappointed because you had goals you wanted to hit, but content with what you had done so far, and know that your legacy will live on because you helped a lot of people and that people cared about you and that you did it right.
Absolutely.
And that's how I felt in a stressful situation. I was completely calm and at peace And it honestly helped me get to the hospital and get it figured out.
Well, I think your story is obviously far from over, but that's a hell of a feeling because I didn't feel that way. Um, and I made it my life goal to feel that way. You know, next if and when that time comes, if I ever get killed, which I don't think I will at this point, but
I
yeah,
think everyone does.
yeah. Well, we'll see. But
Touch my leg if I can get it.
but dude, but yeah, man, that's powerful, and I think people who face near death experiences, they get it, and people who haven't should even try to get it even more because when I was dying, I was super disappointed. And I was like counting, like I was hanging on the inches of my life, bleeding out and everything, and I could feel myself dying. And I was like, damn, like I held back so much. I didn't become the person. I always put myself off into the distance. Like one day I'm going to be that guy. One day I'm going to do those things. And then I was out of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I'm a really ambitious person. So it's like, it's a lot to be what I wanted to always be. But you know, I can definitely say that going after your passion and not doubting your damn self and just being fully transparent with the world and with yourself and your dreams and going for it with all gas, no brakes, is the way to do it. And I think what's cool about you is that, you know, some people just got it like that. Like you just live that way, you know, and that's why people gravitate towards you. And that's why you're such a good coach. For me, I had to work a lot harder to get out of my box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to become the person that I was proud of and wanted to be. So, and I know there's a lot of kids that struggle with that, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. And so hey, that probably we're right at the mark that we said we wanted to hit. So you got anything else important?
Yeah, I got one question for you.
All right, let's hit it.
One question I have is that I was thinking about is just what do you want for the kids right now? What would you like to see them be doing while you're getting yourself back together?
Okay, well, first of all, the kids that I worked with, I want them to prove to me that what I taught them works and that they don't need me to hold their hand the whole way, that they can go get stuff done that I'm saying.
Yep.
For the other kids who haven't had it yet, or even those kids too, in a way, the most important thing that I've ever learned is how to set a goal and devote as much time and resources as possible to accomplishing that goal.
Love it.
And it's a cliche to say, but it's not about getting to that goal. It's about who you become on the way to that goal.
1,000%.
And it's about the habits and skills you learn on the way to that. And then it can be applied to everything. So like, you know, your first goal could be to win a state title. If you fall short of that, your life wasn't a failure. And if you accomplish that, your life wasn't a success. It just means who you became there, and you learned skills, you learned how to dedicate, you learned how to sacrifice.
Yep.
The next goal, all of those same skills and habits and procedures can apply. So what I want for kids is to get something that fires them up enough to devote all their time and energy into it and to be obsessed with it. And there's your friends, your family, people all around will like sort of tease you, ridicule you, put you down for being obsessed with something, especially if it's something they don't understand. Mm-hmm. Well, they're wrong. The people who become experts in something, the people who get obsessed with something, those are the people that will feel content if they have that moment we were just talking about.
Experts in their own selves. Like that's
right.
The key to chasing a dream is that you're not you're not always. Well, I always call it as like your star in the sky. Yeah. Like you have something that you want, but then you set out on this journey to become that thing, and you learn so much about yourself. You build a team, people that believe in you. You go places, you see things, and you like develop as a human and evolve, and that's where the true power lies. It's not always because, especially if you get closer to the goal, and maybe sometimes people even reach it. There's always more that you're gonna want. But not having that star in the sky, is a lot tougher than the chase of having one and who you become, along the process. So
exactly, yeah. So that's what I want. I want the kids to do exactly that. Have that aim, and then the other thing, I say it to everyone all the time. You just gotta prove to yourself that you can't be broken.
Yeah, that was actually one of the other questions I had for you was like, because I know a lot of people are going through stuff, and it can be anything.
Yeah.
Like life hits, you lose your job, your relationship, you crash your car, whatever it is. So when you're going through hard times, because you're a resilient person, what's like the techniques that you have when you're facing those really shitty hard moments that like are testing your spirit, testing your soul, testing your shield?
Yeah. Well, first thing, a silly one is I pet a dog.
I love
I
it.
freaking love dogs.
Yeah.
There's 4 dogs in the living room right now.
What if there's no dog around? You know?
Okay, so yeah, if there's no dog, 1A is pet a dog.
Okay.
All right. 1B is I could be in the worst situation possible, and I'm in a much better situation than a person in Gaza who's starving, not to get political or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or a war-torn refugee who's escaping a place that they can't go back to and going to a place that doesn't want them.
Right.
Or a person who is like completely alone.
Just trying to zoom out and reflect.
Zoom out
Yeah.
first. Like, okay, my heart's being a pain in the butt. I got pine trees above me. I got a roof.
Right.
I got
You got friends.
friends. I
You
have
got
people
food.
that call me
Yeah.
and care. I have people bringing me food. I have skills that I can apply in a different way to keep myself going, whatever, you know?
It's
So
counting your
number
blessings.
one, it's like, be grateful, but also just like zoom out and be like, it's bad, but it's not that bad,
Right.
right? It's not like could you imagine being a 12-year-old who's a Syrian refugee who is on a raft going to Europe to try to find
Yeah, it's crazy.
some place to be,
I mean,
or
that's
like,
real.
yeah, that's a real problem. Like,
Real kind of shit like that happens.
and or imagine even just having the same problem, but being in a location where you don't have access to the healthcare or whatever that
Yeah.
we have, or not having family that lives there that will give you a ride to the care, or having saved up enough money to like
Oh, man.
float yourself or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
so
it's
that's one. Was that 1B?
1A.
1A was dog. 1B was
B.
be grateful, zoom out.
Count your
It
blessings.
could always be worse.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy who was in a wheelchair, and he said people always come up to him and say, "Oh man, it sucks that you're in a wheelchair." And he says his response is always, "Could you imagine if I lived 100 years ago and didn't have access to this and couldn't get around in something like this?" You know what I mean? So that mindset helps a ton.
Yeah.
And then playing off that, but a little bit different too, is I have voluntarily, when things were going well for me,
Mm-hmm.
found the biggest, strongest, meanest guys I can,
Tried to find
and
them.
for a hobby, for like a random Tuesday night where I worked full time, coached kids, then I go find a big, huge guy, and I talk trash to them and insult them so that they'll try to hurt me as hard as they can.
And they will.
And they will, and they do. And I have hopped on one foot in front of everyone that I love and everyone who knows me with cameras against a black belt in a sport that I'm a white belt in. And I've hopped out there and done their sport in front of everyone on a stage with lights.
Yeah.
So,
I was there.
yeah, you were there. You were there. The point of
those
that,
moments come full circle.
the point of that is, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I've already proven to myself that when things are going good, I will push myself to the limit, and that I'm tough,
Yeah.
and that I'm tough enough to sacrifice good times in order to be prepared for this time.
It's like the cliche, like do hard things.
Do hard
You
things.
mimic those hard things so that when those things happen, you're not weak, soft, and vulnerable.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, are you afraid of going in for a heart procedure? No, dude. It's better than a dude who's nicknamed the Wrecking Ball
Right.
charging me in front of my friends
I get it, man.
and
Yeah.
charging me in front of the kids that I coach. And then, like,
Yep.
next part of that is like, are you worried that you can't get yourself back to healthy? Well, I've gone through a college wrestling season where on 1,200 calories I was burning 4,500 every day, and cutting from 197 to 167 in Disneyland and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know that I could sit in a sauna to keep myself from swelling, or I know that I could fast for a night.
Yeah.
So
doing those hard things.
Do those hard things, and then the thing
blast through those hard moments. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I always tell people, when times are good, we got to test ourselves so that when times are bad, we're prepared. Yeah. And I've done that myself, and now bad times hitting, I'm prepared and I'm confident.
So you're walking, talking, and that's what's kind of cool about this story too, man. Is that you're living, you're getting the chance to live through your own example.
Yeah.
Be what you've been preaching to these kids. But you have been, and there's a lot of power behind that,
So I appreciate being able to,
and that's what you are, man. You're a continuous example, and it, like, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, it's hard when you got to be that person, because I've been that person and I get it. It's like you're the guy that everybody looks up to because they see how you get through things, but you're also the guy who's going through things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what we are. That's just what it is. And sometimes you're dealt a hand in life, you can't control it. Like, it just is what it is. And so you got to figure out how to champion your experience, your situation.
And to loop it back. Oh,
here comes Buttercup. Buttercup wants to get in on the.
Come here, Buttercup. Come here. You can get some action. Come here.
Buttercup came in perfect time. Need some face
See what I say when I said 1A was pet dogs?
There it is.
This freaking dog. See, we got also on TikTok, Champion T and PBC. We're blowing up. Me and Buttercup got some dad jokes. She even talks in there. So you can find that. So, all right. Let's, what do you think? Wrap it, or you got anything?
Yeah,
more?
no, let's wrap it, man. Yeah, if you guys have any feedback, that was our first episode. Let us know what you guys think. Because we're winging it, obviously, but your feedback means the most.
You think we're going to look back and cringe? Or do you think we're going to be
I think we'll be all right.
All right, so coachandcoco@gmail. Feedback, questions, things you'd like us to talk about. Share this with everyone, please. Leave a review on Spotify especially. And check our YouTube channel, Coach and Coco. The Coach and Coco Show on YouTube, and the Coach and Coco. No, gosh, dang it, Coach and Coco Cast. It's right. I'm looking at the freaking thing and saying it wrong. I was like reading it off the screen.
It's because Buttercup's distracted.
Buttercup got me. That's why 1A is pet a dog. So homework. You got to watch Momentum. You got to like, subscribe, review, comment on our stuff. That's your homework. You got to do it. If you don't, we'll find you. And then teaser for next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about why I was super pissed off at Coco the night that he got in the crash. Piss Bandit teaser.
That's a good one. That's a good story.
And we got a whole list of questions from the kids that are compiled. We're going to try to theme each episode, basically take that question, do what we did today, but expand more on a given topic that was asked. Maybe do some current events, and then in the future do some UFC picks just to give. I find that when I do terrible picks, we get a lot of comments, and
I love it, man. It stirs things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Loses people some money.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to find balance, right? Inspire them and then break their bank.
All right. Thanks. You guys we're going to leave with the song.
From the big screen to the big dreams, two dudes with drive who make the best team. Coco brings the fire, Coach cracks the jokes. Now they're dropping truth bombs for everyday folks. It's the Coach and Coco cast, motivation made to last. Laugh, learn, lift your soul. Chasing purpose is the goal. Straight from momentum, still gaining steam.